The political atmosphere in Tokyo has begun to shift noticeably, and the sense of movement inside the Prime Minister's office is growing stronger with each passing hour. On the evening of the 14th, Prime Minister Takaichi gathered senior figures from the ruling camp at the Kantei, signaling a decisive moment in her administration. Behind closed doors, she conveyed a clear intention to move swiftly after the opening of the ordinary Diet session scheduled for January 23. The message was unmistakable. An early dissolution of the House of Representatives is firmly on the table. This decision points directly toward a general election taking place in early to mid-February. For Japan's political world, the timeline is no longer speculative, it is becoming a concrete reality. Those present at the meeting represented key pillars of the current power structure. The Liberal Democratic Party was represented by Secretary General Suzuki. From the Japan Innovation Party, party leader Yoshimura and co-leader Fujita attended. Their presence underscored the seriousness of the discussion and the breadth of political coordination involved. Although details remain under wraps, the direction itself has now been shared at the highest levels. Prime Minister Takaichi is expected to address the nation directly on January 19. At that press conference, she is likely to clarify both the schedule and the reasoning behind this bold move. Until then, speculation continues to ripple through political circles and the media. The idea of dissolving the lower house at the very start of the Diet session did not emerge overnight. Reports earlier this month revealed that the Prime Minister had been weighing an early election to solidify her governing base. Those reports immediately sparked debate across party lines. Concerns were raised about the difficulty of passing the new fiscal year budget within the current schedule. Opposition parties voiced sharp criticism, questioning the legitimacy of the move. Some argued that the timing lacks a clear national necessity. Others framed it as an attempt to dodge pressing economic issues, especially rising prices. The phrase, postponement dissolution, began circulating in political commentary. Even within the ruling camp, unease could be sensed among cautious lawmakers. Yet Prime Minister Takaichi appears undeterred by the backlash. Her calculation seems rooted in political momentum. With approval ratings still relatively strong, she appears eager to act before conditions change. From her perspective, this is a window that may not remain open for long. Central to her thinking is the desire to seek a direct mandate from voters. She aims to present her economic vision clearly and decisively. That vision includes what she calls responsible proactive fiscal policy. It emphasizes growth, strategic investment, and resilience in the face of global uncertainty. She believes such policies require a firm and stable parliamentary foundation. Foreign policy also features prominently in her broader narrative. Her administration has spoken of positioning Japan as a confident and influential presence on the global stage. The phrase, Japan blooming proudly at the center of the world, captures that ambition. By going to the electorate early, she hopes to validate this direction. An electoral victory would strengthen her hand in upcoming legislative battles. It would also reduce resistance within the Diet during the long session ahead. For supporters, the move represents decisiveness and leadership. They argue that clarity now is better than prolonged uncertainty later. For critics, however, the strategy feels risky and disruptive. They warn that rushing into an election could distract from urgent policy challenges. Economic pressures on households remain severe. Global instability continues to test Japan's diplomatic balance. These realities form the backdrop to the Prime Minister's gamble. Still, in politics, timing is often as crucial as policy. Prime Minister Takaichi appears convinced that now is the moment to act. She is choosing to confront voters directly rather than navigate prolonged parliamentary friction. Whether this approach will be rewarded remains an open question. The coming weeks will bring sharper debate and heightened tension. Campaign preparations are already quietly accelerating. Parties are recalibrating their strategies in anticipation. Voters, meanwhile, are being drawn once again into a national decision. As January turns to February, Japan may find itself at a pivotal crossroads. The outcome will shape not only the composition of the Diet, it will also determine the strength and direction of the current administration. In that sense, this decision is about far more than election timing. It is a test of political confidence, vision, and resolve. And soon, the final judgment will rest with the people themselves.